Hey, this is me running a $3 million per year business in public. It's pretty cool. The way these videos work is we start with some Q&A, deliver some value right off the bat, it's a little engagement hack. Then I show you guys my stats. Then I cover it up with some live strategy. I have 113,883 subs. And then unfortunately, I've actually just recorded this whole video. And then I realized that I didn't have my OBS set up right. So that's kind of annoying. What I've decided to do is just go back and find the people that I just answered and then re-answer all of their questions. Because why the hell not? You know, y'all are pretty cool, nice people. Okay, so the first one was from Reese Cooper. He says, "Hey Nick, I hope you're doing really well and all is going swimmingly. I had a question that may apply to many people. I'm a part of Maker School, and Reese is building his agency month by month within my course. But he is at a point where he's working an 8-hour job that still only pays $500 per month. And because it's in the middle of the month, he's already invested all the money for that month. The problem is Connects on Upwork costs money, which he doesn't have, and he's wondering, Nick, what the hell would you do in this situation? Should I double down on other forms of outreach, or should I just go jump off a bridge? No problem, bro. I got you. Absolutely, you're going to double down on other forms of outreach. I said what I'm about to say much more eloquently in the first recording, but screw it. We're going to do it again. To make a long story short, you have two methods of acquiring clients. There's money-intensive methods, and then there is time-intensive methods. Now, hopefully it's clear that money-intensive methods trade money to acquire clients faster. Time-intensive methods trade more time to acquire clients faster, and you usually don't have to spend as much money. Now, what do I talk about in Maker School for the most part? I talk about money-intensive methods. But I should note that money-intensive is a very relative term because this is probably the lowest barrier to entry business on planet Earth, to be completely honest. Not on planet Earth, but high ROI digital leveraged AI business on planet Earth, I would say. And the amount of money you need to actually run it is extraordinarily low relative to the vast majority of other things that you could be doing with your money. Like, you want to talk about how expensive it is to run a, AI automation agency or whatever. Try starting a B2B heavy equipment rental business. Do you know what I mean? Like, holy, you want to talk capital expense. Try starting a business with $50,000. I mean, up until very recently, you weren't actually able to start any sort of business like this without sizable amount of capital. But I digress. Anyway, so I talk about money-intensive methods. Now, what are some money-intensive methods? Well, think about cold email, for instance. I'm like, hey, cold email is awesome. You can make so much freaking money with it. That's true. And cold email is awesome. But what do you need? You need the platform for sending. So you actually need a subscription of like maybe $100 a month to like Instantly or something. On top of that, you also need mailboxes. So if you want to send at any reasonable volume, let's say you get, 20 mailboxes or something, maybe they're like $3 or $4 each. That's like, $80 a month or something. Plus domain cost, which is just one time. And then you also have to like get the leads, right? And maybe you spend like $40 a month on leads or something. Well, if you add these up, okay, this is actually still quite a bit of money. You're spending $220, which, Reese, for you is like, 44% of last month's freaking salary. Dude, what about rent? How the hell are you going to pay rent here? You'll be rich in cold emails, but not much else. Because that, it takes a while for this stuff to pay off, right? Okay, so that's one. Think about Upwork now. You're talking about Upwork specifically, Upwork Connects, right? Like, Upwork can be pretty pricey. Now, Upwork is a very good example of trading money for time because you spend a little bit of money and you save yourself a lot more time than you probably realize. So obviously I try and pitch it to everybody in Maker School because what's the most important part about a business in reality? It's you not seeing any sort of positive feedback before you decide to quit. And so what does Upwork allow you to do? It allows you to see positive feedback at like 1/10 the amount of time that other people do in other industries and other business approaches, or even this business with a different approach. The issue is, though, costs maybe like $2.50 an app. Okay? So it is $2.50 an app if you take into account the Upwork Connect strategy, which is where you bid and boost on every job, and then they refund you the ones that you don't get clicks on. But let's just say you do this like 20 days a month, man. What's 20 times $2.50? That's $250. So now you're doing Upworks, $250 a month. You're doing cold email, it's $220 in your first month. You're at $470, man. That's 94% of your take home. And by the way, what the hell are you doing to make $500 a month? Are you in like a really low cost of living country? That sucks, man. That's really brutal. Dude, even when I got my very first job here in Canada, which a lot of people would consider extraordinarily lower pay, I was going door to door. Well, it wasn't my first job, sorry. But one of my first jobs where they were paying me a flat plus commission, I was going door to door and busting my ass, but I still made like $2,000 a month. And that was like, 6 years ago, something like that. When I threw my very first event, like I was already making more money than that. So like, dude, that sucks, man. The fact that you're in that situation, I'm making $500 a month, presumably hauling ass 8 hours a day, dude. Like, let me be clear, that's rough. We're gonna get you out of it though. Okay, so yeah, there are a bunch of other money-intensive marketing techniques, right? Like, what about pay-per-click ads, man? You spend like $20 a day, 30 days a month. That's like another $600. You're probably not gonna do this, but whatever. Okay, so these are all the money-intensive things that I tell people to do in Maker School. There's some other ones you could do, like some sort of paid DM thing, like Dripify or whatever. But let's not look at this anymore because a lot of people here don't have a lot of money. If you do have any money at all, though, I highly recommend this stuff. This will get you clients like 10 times as fast. What I'm about to say now. So, what do you do if you don't have money? Well, what you do is you trade your time for what that money would have bought you. So the very first thing you do is you do cold DMs. Okay. What cold DMs is you take the best of my cold email strategy and then my Upwork strategy, and you combine them like a freaking like a Power Ranger or whatever. So there's a name for this. I'm forgetting. Voltron Assemble. You can send cold DMs on a bunch of other platforms, but I'd recommend do LinkedIn, do X, do Instagram, do stuff like Reddit, man. Like you got to go out there. You got to scrounge in order to get these leads. Do like 20 per day. If you do 20 for LinkedIn, you do 20 for X, you do 20 for Instagram, you do 20 sorts of messages. I feel like Reddit, you're probably throttle a little bit more than that, but whatever. And if each takes you 3 mins to do, that's 1 hour plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's 4 hours. Okay. You spend 4 hours a day on outreach. You get yourself, let's hypothetically say 20 each, right? Let's just not count Reddit for the purposes of this discussion. That's 60 a day. You send 30 days a month. You send 1,200 bits of outreach per month. If you send 1,200, let's say you even get like a 5% reply rate, that's 60 replies. Let's say you book a quarter of these people, that's 15 replies, 15 bookings. Let's say you close even a quarter of these people, that's 3.75, I think, so around 4 closes. And let's say you have no idea what the hell you're doing because you're a total noob, so you pitch everything at $500, keeping in mind that's exactly how much money you make all month rees. That's $2,000 right there, right? You take the 2K and you just invest it in all this shit. This stuff. It's going to grow you way faster than what I talked about. 4 hours a day in order to make $2,000 a month is still 120 hours. 2,000 divided by 120. I don't know. It's like $16 or something like that. 16.75. I don't know. It's not very much money at all. 16.6, my bad. Damn, I'm pretty crazy with it. But anyway, so the point I'm making is like it's not really all that much money. But the next month, you could spend 60 hours because now you have a much more scalable lead gen method, and you can make $5,000. And then the times start getting better. Okay, so cold DMs are really big. There's another one here that I'll chat about really briefly. It's called community posting. I don't know if you guys have tried this. Hopefully you have. But basically, what you do is you go to communities like School. You go, you type in like marketing community plus Slack or something. You go to, I don't know, Discord. You go to LinkedIn groups. You go to Facebook groups. There's just communities everywhere nowadays. WAP, right? And then you join. And then what you do is you answer people's questions. You deliver a bunch of value. And you just consistently show up every day for like a 30-day period. And then at the end of it, well, maybe not 30 days, 14-day period or something. And then at the end of the 14 days, you just show up and then you make your own posts, top level, where you're like, hey guys, just found a really quick and easy way to do X, Y, and Z. I've been struggling with this for a really long time. It was actually costing me all this money, but we just found a really cool way to do it over at my business that does blank. And then everybody's like, oh, I remember that guy. He's posted in the last 20 threads that I've done. They all like upvote you. And then you have the chance to go viral within your community much easier. And when you go viral, well, not even viral, but when you get some sort of like positive engagement, now you have a bunch of people that see you as an authority and they just like ask all these questions. You just follow up with them in DMs and you say, hey, Pete, I know you asked about X, Y, and Z. Just wanted to give you some even more information. Here's a bunch more value. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help. Some percentage of these people over the course of the next week or so are going to ask you for help. Some people are going to ask for help right away. You get on a call with them and then you just consistently pitch yourself as an authority. You'll get leads from that. People will want to work with you just because you are familiar to them and they have a problem and you're right in front of them when they want it solved. So yeah, that's a pretty good strat. Reply guy. This is what we talk about in Maker School, part of it. And then, make some top level posts. I don't think I harp on reply guying enough, but it is very valuable. Okay. So now you're in a situation, Reese, where, you're trading your time for money You're trading your time for the things that you would have traded your money for. And then as your money unit goes up or whatever, it's like a bar in a video game, your money skill goes up, then you don't have to spend your time thing as much. Okay. Hopefully that helps. All right. Emperor WO says, I saw in your email coffee you're operating to set everything for free. And I'm trying a similar approach myself. It definitely helped boost my reply rates, but that's where I get stuck. When prospects ask, what the hell is in it for you? I find it tricky to answer clearly. If we say it's commission-based, there's no reliable way to track the actual sales. And if I go with, try it out for a while and let me know if it works, the risk is, what if they never get back? In that case, it's just a waste of time, and it's actually happening with me for the past few weeks. They get the system and they never get back. Curious how you handle that part. How do you position the offer so it builds trust and protects your time? Again, I will tell you something that I much more eloquently described the first time around. But my man, you can't worry about wasting your time here. You really can't, because time is not your valuable resource. Just look at Reese down below. Time is not his valuable resource. The tiny amount of money that he has is his valuable resource. Obviously, you can get philosophical with me if you want. Please don't. But you can, obviously, time is like the highest good and whatnot. But yeah, like right now, most of you guys are beginners at the start line with no money. So the only resource you have to trade is time. And you're obviously trying to be very protective of it, but like what you're trying to do is you're trying to be efficient with your time, but you shouldn't try and be efficient with your time. You should try to be effective with your time. You're worried about like, well, what if they don't get back to me? I'll have wasted this time. It's like, well, yeah, if you want to do anything, you're going to have to waste time. You're going to have to waste a lot of time. But I would rather waste 90% of my time and make $100,000 a month than waste 1% of my time and make $100 a month. Do you know what I mean? Like, every time you take a shot, you're wasting, and it doesn't work out or they don't get back to you, you are wasting time. Every time I make a video and it flops, I'm wasting time. But I'd rather waste that time and then still have that generate some sort of absolute magnitude metric that I care about, like proposals, replies, booked calls, closed deals, dollars, than being perfectly efficient with my time and not. So it's this idea that, I've been trying to build for a while, and I don't know if I found a good way of explaining it, but everybody on planet Earth is like committed to this idea of efficiency, when what they should really be committed to is this idea of effectiveness. Effectiveness is just how much shit do you actually get done? What is the absolute magnitude metric that you get done? Okay. Let's say efficiency wise, you're you're like 90% efficient at everything you do, but then you get 5 proposals out. It's like, yeah, obviously there's still some room. So we got a train going by. Hopefully you guys don't get totally BTFO'd by that thing. Obviously 5 proposals is awesome, but I would rather be like 1% efficient and then get like 2 deals, honestly, or something. Maybe like 1 deal, like, because this is money. I guess what I'm trying to say is I focus on the thing like, what are we all here for? We're here for money. We're not here for all of the intervening metrics like, oh, I'm so efficient with my time, or oh, I work so little every day. It's like, nah, man, like, there is nothing that is like low leverage for you to do, basically. Like, this is not low leverage stuff. This is super high leverage stuff. You just got to do it yourself. It sucks for me to say and make it as blunt as this, but yeah, the risk is, what if they never get back? Like, what if you never make it? What if you die unfulfilled? Like, it sucks to say, but like, this is not big risk here. This is like the tiniest risk. There are mountains of risks that are much bigger than this. And if you want to grow in some way, you have to just consistently put yourself out there. And interface with the market. And then to answer your other question, what's in it for you? What's in it for me is I want to overwhelm you with so much free value that you start asking yourself, well, if this is everything that I can get from Nick for free, what the hell is he charging people for? And that's exactly what you say, or some variant of it. That's what I say when people ask me, dude, like, why are you giving all this stuff away for free? I'm like, well, I'm making lots of money, aren't I? So even if I don't technically have a great answer to that question, proof is in the pudding, right? Like, I'm just trying to overwhelm you so much with value that I eventually make more money. And the only real way I know how is being very nice, as unfortunate as it is. Baki says, would you mind making a video about how to start from zero? I'm now a bit confused with a lot of words like onboarding and lead gen. There's so much info out there, so I want to organize myself. I answered this question earlier, but I wasn't really good with it. But to make a long story short, onboarding is just the process of getting somebody that just paid you acquainted and up and running with your business as quickly as possible so you can maximize the quality of the project that you deliver. Lead gen is just turning people from strangers that have never heard about you or your product to people that are interested in the prospect of working with you. So they also call them prospects. Whether or not you turn these people into clients, that's another question entirely. That's basically sales. But lead gen is just getting people from the point where they don't know you to the point where they know you. And then Cornea says, how do you scrape personal phone numbers of CEOs? I'm running an SMS reactivation system, but I'm also looking to launch an SMS campaign which targets new prospects. Thanks for the value. Keep crushing it. The answer there is Apollo actually gives you phone numbers right off the bat if you scrape it with one of the many Appify scrapers. I recommend this scrape up to 50K leads once, $1.20 per 1,000 leads. You do need an Appify account with paid credit or connect or whatever the heck they're called. But the scalability on that is crazy. From there, you're going to get probably like, I don't know, 50 to 70% of phone numbers, I think. Might be lower. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But what you can do is you can pump this into a platform called Lead Magic. So, yeah, I would recommend just going Apollo Appify. And then guess what? You got the email addresses too. Okay, and then Maxime asks, strange question, but I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and this is very similar to what I answered to Reese. I'm 17. Notice a lot of guys, including me, are obsessed with making money ASAP. The problem is the pressure makes us rush the process, skip steps, and jump from thing to thing without sticking to one lane long enough to master it. Even though I really want to earn consistently, I catch myself not putting in real focused work, just bouncing around trying to find the thing. Do you have any advice on how to deal with the pressure and actually build something solid? Sorry for the questions, trying to learn and actually apply instead of staying stuck. No problem. I don't actually know of any other questions that you asked. I might be just totally blanking, but maybe it's because you don't have a profile pic. It's just like a white thing. Yeah, great question. A lot of kids are obviously very obsessed with the idea of making money. They don't have any idea what goes into the process of making money and the sacrifices that you must make along the way in order to commit to something as fully and completely as the greats. So understandable that they see a bunch of upside without much downside, and they don't really understand what it takes to get there. It's like step one, how to draw an owl. Step one, draw the head. Step two, draw the rest of the owl. You know, everybody just like wants to jump immediately over to draw the rest of the owl. They don't actually want to figure out what actually goes on. So yeah, what's some advice? You know, it's boring, but you just got to pre-commit to something for a long enough period of time that you can actually dive deep and then see some sort of result. So pre-committing is tough for youngins for sure, because you know, you're sold this idea that you will have infinite opportunity. In reality, the doors in life are closing constantly around you. There goes another one, just closed while we weren't even paying attention. And accepting that is just a part of becoming a mature, capable individual. So yeah, you don't actually have infinite opportunity. You have to be willing to trade off some opportunity for results. When you find the love of your life, for instance, you are trading off the opportunity for future partners to stay with them. That is committing to something. It seems pretty scary when you do it, especially for a lot of young men, I imagine. But you know, people do this because they see more of an upside later on. Likewise, when you commit to a specific business, or you commit to a specific lead gen approach, or you commit to doing 75 hard and waking up and doing your crunches every morning, you are trading off freedom between the intervening period of time for some sort of massive result during and or at the end of it. This is just a part of life. It's just an equation, just a trade-off that one must make if they want to achieve greatness. Okay, hopefully that helped. I've already done my brand stats. To make a long story short, I grew pretty well over the course of the last 24 hours. My main channel grew by 1,000 subs. The Instagram grew at 2.3K. Then my daily updates grew by 30. And what have I actually been doing? Why did I want to do live strategy today? Well, guess what, guys? I actually built, sucks, I built an awesome system that I thought you guys were going to get tons of value out of on video. To make a long story short, one of the big issues I'm suffering from here is I'm very disorganized. These are my make.com folders. There's a lot, and there's a lot of shit going on. So what I decided to do was I'm looking for more opportunities to use AI in my day-to-day life. So one big area I'm using AI more is to generate prompts for large language models to do other things for me, which is pretty neat. It's kind of like meta prompting. People have been talking about this for a while, but I don't actually think models were good enough to know what the hell that meant until very recently. Still though, one thing I did just on camera was I used ChatGPT to come up with a prompt to help me organize my my make.com folders. And then I ended up using that to build a scenario that uses the meta make module family to list all the scenarios on my account, get all the scenario blueprints, get all the JSON. In case you don't know what that looks like, basically every make.com scenario actually looks like this under the hood. Bunch of JSON underneath it, which is kind of sick. Then feed that into AI, have it explain the scenario with like a brief little explanation string. Hey, this automates the process of handling applicant submissions from a Typeform application form for Maker School. And then what I do is I feed that into another model, which then responds with a category and then a folder ID and then a title. Then I take that and then I actually use the update a scenario module, excuse me, which then goes and actually like moves the scenario to the right folder, which is kind of neat. So I don't actually know how this is going to look. Let me refresh this now. So archive is now at 53. Personal is now at 29. This is at like 3 before or something. Agency ops are 35. YouTube builds 22. NSM 17. So that's cool. So I am now like progressively going through the organization. There's a lot in sales and marketing. So I'm just going to run this now live so you guys could see what's going on here. Let's go down to list scenarios. Folder will go sales and marketing. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this. And yeah, the idea is this is just going to organize me. And I'll check back in on this in a second. But yeah, so to make a long story short, today was pretty intense. I've realized that it's time to organize. I've just been Wild Westing it up until now, which has been awesome, obviously. And the most important thing for people is to get up and running. But I've now well established the get up and running part in my own business. So I don't just need to get up and running anymore. I need to take what's working and I need to systematize it. I need to scale it. So first part of that's just organizing. So what does organizing mean? Well, I got hacked a little while ago. So security is big. So I'm building a process to be significantly more secure. Part of that includes OnePass, Password Manager, LastPass, Bitwarden, I don't know, all these encryption things. And that's one thing that I went through today, which I won't touch on too much. Then I'm thinking of separating concerns in my business. So right now, everything in my company is set up under left click. So left click is over here and everything feeds in here. So my schools feed in, my YouTube feeds in, my agency work feeds in, my consulting feeds in. And I mean, like everything else, my template sales feed in, my affiliates feed in, everything just feeds in a left click. And it's cool and all, but you know, when somebody wants to work with Nick Saraev and then they receive an invoice from left click, I don't know. I don't like the idea of just having everything here. It also makes it difficult for me to do things like delegate access. Like I use left click emails for all of my Maker School stuff, right? So, or my info product or coaching stuff. So what if, I don't know, I need to give somebody an email address so they can do something for me? Like now I need to give them access to literally everything. It's just kind of silly, stupid. So obviously this need is brought on by me scaling my team a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to separate concerns. Instead of this, I'm going to do left click. I'll have some sort of media company or media corporation. Left click is going to handle all my agency work. I'm going to scale up my agency work because I'm doing the YouTube strategy where I do like demand gen and I do it live now, right? Like that was something I talked about a few days ago if you guys haven't seen. But basically I'm going to be growing my agency and then just documenting that. And then I'll get to double dip, build some equity, enterprise value while also standing up for my competitors. So agency first, then what else? I'll do consulting here as well. That'll be cool. And then if I have any like referrals or whatever, I'll pump it in here. And then this is going to be like at left click. Right? That's, you know, the whole family. And then this is going to be my YouTube ad revenue. This is going to be my coaching. So I guess sorry, let's say school. That'll make it easier. This will be all my template sales. What else? This will be like my one-on-one coaching and any other offers that I have. Basically the information products. And then this will also be my affiliate. Well, I'll say affiliates sponsorships. That's what I'll do. I'll do both. So they're going to feed into two. And then this is going to be at nicksaraev.com. So I set up a bunch of stuff to that end. I set up a ton of shit. So that's pretty nice. One thing I set up was like a Nick Saraev email. So now I have the email nick@nicksaraev, which is kind of cool. Should probably move that too, huh? Why does it fail? What's going on over here? Missing value of required parameter? Well, I'm seeing it. It's right here. Look, it's 01 sales and marketing. I have a scenario right here called new systems auto request. Why are you not picking up? I would like you to pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up immediately. You know what? It's because it's only active scenarios. That's why. I'm silly. Baba booey. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing is no, that's not that. Okay, where the heck am I here? Separating concerns. The third is building. I haven't done this yet, but it's going to be like CRM and project management spaces. Boring, I know. And then the fourth thing is going to be delegating some inbound stuff. And I have some triage already set up. It's worked okay the last couple of days, not perfect. But then this delegating inbound, for instance, I'll be able to say like, hey, you know, there's a little triage right over here. Triage just means like determine where to go next. Is this a, you know, agency query? Or is this a coaching, or I don't know, I'll just say NSM query. You'll have some triage mechanism for that, probably AI plus a person. Then if it's NSM, then it goes over to the NSM side operations. If it's agency, it goes over to the agency side operations. In this way, I'm going to be able to like get a big chunk of the money that I've just been leaving on the table, which would be pretty cool. And then the last thing is taxes. Yeah, taxes. They do not tell you about taxes, but taxes are a lot of money when you get up and running and you don't think about anything. Taxes do be taxing. So yeah, I just need like a simpler and easier way to deal with my taxes, to be honest. And that's one big thing that I'm unfortunately having to focus on. So yeah, pretty neat. Let's do archive next. And then actually, you know what I'm going to do? Could I just do this? So, okay, I got it. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have this list all, and then I'm only going to grab scenario blueprints for things that are not in the folders that I've specified here. Okay. So I'm just going to do this, extract just numbers, list demarcated by commas. And let's just do this now. It's going to spit out just a list of all the numbers. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to go in here, and then I want to say, if the folder, then I got to say does not contain. Oh, that's kind of annoying. I have to do and for this. There's no way to like do filtering. Could I go like any maybe? Is there no array operator that just does this immediately for me? Good God, man, that's terrible. Could I do contains array? Is this going to work? No, I need to create an array. All right, well, whatever. Let's do it. Screw it. I'm just going to go hacky and just ruin my beautiful scenario thing. This is just going to be called array. And then I'm just going to go like this. And then, oops, sorry. Is that right? Fix. Add string to number. No. Just number. Just number in array, no ID, no name. Just stringified number. Good God, man. Holy shit, that is brutal. Okay, cool. So what am I doing this for? Just getting an array. And then what I can do is I can feed this in to lists here. I'll grab everything, so all of my folders. And then we'll go empty. Because this grabs all of my folders, I can then go over here. And I can set up a filter. And then I could say yes. And then I could go up to... Oh, I get it. Sorry, I have to cancel this. And then I think I have to run this one more time. There you go. Then here I go JSON and I go array contains, does array contain the value of this folder ID? So not here. So if this is true, false. Oh shit, what do I do here? If this contains the folder, then I don't want to move forward, right? I think that's it. Let's just do this and see if this works at all. Did this just run all? This ran 100 times and there was 7 that weren't in here? Really? Well, let's just look at the metadata. Okay. Huh. Can I not get the folder ID here? Well, that's really annoying. I guess I get the folder ID here, huh? Contains... True. Oh, I'm so lazy. I could have already set this up like 3 times. I mean, I think that's fine. I mean, screw it. Let's just see what happens. We just ran 100, right? just output 100, we found 7. That seems reasonable to me because, yeah, the vast majority of these are already in my right folder. 67, 40, yeah, that's fine. I wonder if it goes top to bottom or if it just like does some other method. Hmm. Well, anyway, yeah, cool. So I'm just going to continue running that. Thanks so much for watching. I think I'll leave it there. Yeah, it's a pretty cool scenario. I'm probably just going to set this and schedule this like run once a week on everything in the uncategorized folder. And then if I remember to do the naming convention, then I'm not going to have to worry about it because I'll just move it in myself. Then if I didn't, it's going to spot it and then automatically organize it for me. So my make scenario is not a giant pain. My make workspace is not a giant pain in the ass. And then I'm going to apply the same sort of simplification approach to more or less everything else that I do, where like I have some sort of autonomous like reorganizer that's doing things like checking my project manager. That's project management system, that sort of stuff. The goal will be to just like add very slight little bit of functionality just to like, clean things up that usually fall through the cracks. Like one big issue in CRMs historically is just some records never get updated. So we're just going to have like some AI automatic triaging thing to deal with that, which is going to be cool. Same thing with my emails. If I just like literally Command F to my email inbox, typed in Maker School, there'd be like 500 people that are like, hey man, quick question about Maker School. I really want to pay you money, but if you just answer this one question, please, I just need 5 seconds of your time. I will pay you money. I have it out in my hand right now. If I just said something to them, I would have dealt with that and I would have made some money off it, right? But I'm not because I'm a little just bottlenecked right now. And yeah, these systems are just going to do some of that for me. They can help me triage. Then I'm just going to get like a little list of things at the end of the day. It's basically going to be like, is that good? 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 I feel like I need to do this if I want to hit like I'm considering coming up with a new goal of a $5 million a year, super bootstrapped, super lean business. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'm considering it. So if I want to hit that goal, then I'm going to need systems like this in place. All right. Cool. See y'all.